Good morning, everybody. We are back again. The show is called TBR Solution Sports Program. It's myself and Sheikhs Manqoba Ngwenya. Sheikhs, welcome to the show. The good news is I got a message on, I think, on the YouTube. Somebody said, Sheikhs Manqoba is my all-time favorite player. I've been supporting, following him ever since I was 14 years old. And then I'm so excited that I see that Sheikhs is back, is doing the show. So I said, I'll pass the message. So yeah, I've forgotten. I'm passing the message. Greet the viewers and acknowledge this gentleman. He really feel that you are the best ever player that he has ever seen.
Yeah, thanks, Saubrey, for the platform. Greeting all the viewers of our show. We hope we're going to have a good one for you. And yeah, Saubrey, it's always good to hear that the people appreciate what you've done during your playing days, you know. It shows that there's a mark that I left. So I'm happy about that. Thank you so much to him. I really appreciate it and I'm humble.
The truth of the matter is you're a very brilliant player, Sheikhs. I think the physio didn't do a good job on your physiques, and hence you had to retire very early. People were still looking forward to get a lot from you. As I say, you know, I've been a Cosmo through and through, and I would ask myself why Jomo doesn't sign this player. But you know, Jobana doesn't sign. Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't know whether it's the level of standard in terms of physio during that time, because that also plays a major role in ending the careers of the players too soon. Sheikhs, we had a very good, exciting weekend or week. We saw yesterday Orlando Pirates losing to TS Galaxy. Yo, it's so bad. Not only Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs also lost. I don't know what's happening. And then people are going through and to and fro. That Arthur's one go. I say Arthur is the right coach to take Kaizer Chiefs to another level. Kaizer Chiefs, as far as I'm concerned, they don't have quality players. That's my assertion. And then I was happy to see Arthur being brave enough. I never thought that Arthur can be such brave, because that was brave of him to come out and say we need to overhaul the squad. I think that's what is required at Kaizer Chiefs. But today I want us to look at number 2. Of course, we'll talk about Chiefs. We'll also talk about Pirates. These are big teams. Are they going to make position 2? Remember, position 2 now, it's important because it gives you the opportunity to be in the, what do you call? In the in the Champions League. Because the Champions League is the thing now. It's no more like, you know what, I'm just playing for top 8. Position 2, it's very important now. So what's your take, Sheikhs? Who do you think will take position 2 out of all these teams?
Yeah, Prasad, Royal AM are currently occupying position number 2, and it's by no fluke. They are doing well. John Maduga is doing well with Abu Mamkize there. We saw them, they gave Sundowns a run for their money in the Nedbank Cup during the weekend, but unfortunately, Sundowns was just too strong for them, like they've been with all the other teams. But Royal AM, it's no fluke that they are number 2, and Chiefs and Pirates behind them, and Cape Town will have to step up. You know, Cape Town is right there next to them. 1 point difference between them and Cape Town. So Cape Town City is really going to push them. But we'd like to see the likes of Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates being there. I mean, it's very important for the big teams to be in the CAF Champions League. So yeah, it's just not going well for the big Soweto Giants at the moment. They will really need to work hard, because Cape Town City and Royal AM, they are not dropping their guard. So it's going to be a tough race for that number 2 spot.
Why, sorry about that. While you still say that, what could be the problem? Let me tell you something that I've analyzed, Chiefs and Pirates. They don't have goals. They don't have goals. You know, if you look at the scoring chart, you have Peter Shaulile of 22 goals. Kaizer Chiefs at top 10, it's having Keegan Dolly with 7 goals. And then Bill at 7 goals. Pirates does not even have a player in top 10. All right. Now, that on its own, that tells you in terms of the quality. So I'm shocked when people are saying, it's not a quality, it's a coach. It's not a coach. You know, Steve Compella came out on Twitter, on social media, to say, Rob, you can't keep on changing the babysitters. I think I was talking to Robert Morale. You can't keep on changing the babysitters. If you keep on changing the babysitters and it doesn't work, maybe you'll have to look at home. So that on its own is a statement. Gavin Hunt complained about the quality of players. All right? Stuart Baxter complained about the quality of players. Now you have Athazwan complain about the quality of players. So now you have 4 coaches complaining about the quality of players. And now you say, no, it's not the quality of players. The players are there. It has a lot to do with the coach. How long Kaizer Chiefs has changed the coach? In 10 years, let's look. Sundowns. How many people have coached Sundowns? There was Pito, who was there, I think, for 6 years or so. Isn't it? Am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
Then you have Manqoba and Coach Rulani. I think they are going for their 3rd year, isn't it?
Yes.
Then you go to Europe. You look at teams like Liverpool. Klopp has been there now for how long now? I think he completed his 3 year, and then I think he's in the 2nd or 4th, second 3 year now. All right. You go to Man City, the same. Then you go to Barcelona, changing the coaches. Then you see what is the problem. You go to Real Madrid. Yes, of course. The guy who has just come in, he's a serial winner. He's the first coach to win all the leagues in top 5 leagues. So he's the only coach that has done that. All right. So if you look at all those factors, I'm saying these are the people who are at Kaizer Chiefs. Now, again, if you take the argument of Liverpool, sorry, they don't buy too many players, but they buy 1 or 2 game changers. I don't know whether you've noticed that. The policy of buying there, they would buy Salah. We didn't know Salah, all right? 1 or 2 players all the time. And they bought Sadio Mane, all right? And then now there's this Jota. You get a point. Now they've brought in the young man, the Brazilian. It's not about buying 6 or 5 players. It's about buying 1 or 2 game changers. All right. So I don't know. That's my argument when I put my spectacles and look closer. What could be the problem? Did you get my point? So I don't know what's your take.
Yeah, it's a tough one, you know. I believe a team like Pirates, they have the quality. I think they have the quality. I don't know what's the problem with them with not scoring goals. But the big factor that I see that Sundowns is doing that other teams, I think they don't not doing, you know, is to have a structure, you know, to have a structure and a playing style, you know. Sundowns have that playing style from their development. It starts there, that playing style, so that when players come into the first team, they know exactly the playing style. It doesn't change. It's their identity. So sometimes I don't see that with the likes of Kaizer Chiefs. What's their identity, you know? And it's very important for a team to have an identity, you know. So it becomes difficult for the likes of Kaizer Chiefs. You have your Kama Billiards, you have your Keegan Dollies, you have a lot of experienced players at Kaizer Chiefs, but I'm not sure there as well if there's really a leader in that field, you know, when the chips are down to lead the team, you know. I think that's what's lacking as well at Kaizer Chiefs. But yeah, it's just difficult to pinpoint, you know, because these teams are big teams and you expect better from them. So yeah, Arthur has cried out now for better quality of players. You know, that badge is also very heavy. It's a big brand, you know, and the players who used to play there before, you know, when I think back to the likes of about Thabo Moki, about Dr. Khumalos, your Skara Ngobeses, you know, big names that used to play for that brand. Do we have those players in that team now who can carry that brand like those guys did? I'm not sure. So yeah, I think maybe Kaizer Chiefs need to sit down and have a relook of what type of players they sign, players that can really put that badge in the heart, you know, and push that team, because it's not easy to play for a big team like Kaizer Chiefs. You need to have that heart, you know. So yeah, I think they need to have a relook of how they sign their players.
Shege, I hear what you're saying. You know, at some point, I'm again putting my spectacles and look closer. Orlando Pirates. If you remember quite well, the coaches, your Mandla Ngigazi, your Fadlu, they were complaining also about injuries. Then my next question was, the technical staff, having identified that this is a problem, especially the medical staff, what is their contribution? All right, because my understanding is the problem has been identified, because Pirates, of course, is true. It's a question of injuries. A lot of players have been injured. And then the next thing, when they come back, you know, their form is affected and so on. We've seen it with Lodge, now Vincent Pule and so on. I think this is an opportunity for Pirates to go and look at that department. The same with Kaizer Chiefs. Jonokovic got injured at the right time. I mean, at the time when they needed him most, and so on and so on. So there are a lot of factors that needs to be looked at. So I don't know what's your take about that.
Well, that's a difficult one, Prasols, because you never know whether it's the doctor's fault, you know. Also the type of training, that can affect players' injuries, you know. The workload you give to the players, that you cannot blame the doctors for, you know. But yeah, maybe they can have a look at that department and see what the problem is, you know, why are players taking long to recover from injuries. But yeah, the training method as well, that one is the number one problem sometimes with players getting injured. And then the medical team cannot force a player to come back early, because now when you do that, you are creating more problems, because the player will have to be out and come out longer. So yeah, it's a tricky one from the outside when you are outside and you're not in the camp to see what the actual problem is, really. Yeah.
No, I hear what you're saying, Shakes, that even the medical, but I'm saying, if I was at Pirates leadership, that's one thing that I should look at and say, what could be causing the problem? Why are we having these problems? Well, there are teams. Let's look at Mamelodi Sundowns in terms of the injuries. All right. What's happening? All right. They do have injuries, but if you look at the injuries at Mamelodi Sundowns, they are not disruptive as such. All right. And of course, you are right. At the training method, is it not the time now to look at the training method and say which training method is being used? All right. So for me, those things should be looked very closely. And again, when I go to the scoring chart, why? I mean, the team has to start asking themselves question. I mean, our best player has just got 7 goals. All right. When the leading top goal scorer is at 22. The gap is so huge. All right. And then what's happening with our target man? And of course, remember, like Nokovic, he has been suffering with injuries and so on. So I think that disrupted the scoring ability of Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah, but this is how I see it. Those are some of the things that probably they need to look at. What about the fact that I see new wave happening? When I see Royal AM playing, I would always see Mamkize at the stand supporting the boys. When Amazulu is playing, I see Zungu there supporting the boys. When I see TS Galaxy, I see Team Sugazi being there. Yeah, of course, teams like Stellenbosch, we don't see Mr. Rupert being there as the leader of the team, but other teams, you see them. Super Sport, we don't see Stan Matthews being there as the leader of the team, or the guy from Springs, Kulusibia, being there. Now, do you think that also plays a major role, whereby you see the bosses of the team are there and the players know that the bosses are there? You are a player for yourself. I mean, yourself, you know, when Patrice would be there, what motivation does it bring to you guys? I don't know. I'm just trying to analyze. I'm just trying to see what could be the problem, you know, that motivates the players. Because normally I don't see Dr. Ivan Koza being at the stadium. I don't see, except I see Mr. Floyd Mbele and Brastan and Dr. Ivan Koza's youngsters or sons, and then because they're men now. And then if I check at Orlando Pirates, I don't see Dr. Mtaung at the stadium, except I see the sons and Jessica at some point at the stadium. So what's your take? Do you think that plays a major role as a former player?
Yeah. Perhaps I don't think so. I don't think it's an issue. I mean, Pirates have won the league. Ivan has never come to the stadium. The chairman, I'm told, doesn't even watch the games. You know, he's got his own ways of doing things, and it's always been like that with Pirates. You know, Whereas with Chiefs, we see Kaiser. Sometimes we used to see Kaiser coming, but most of the time he doesn't come. You know, when I started with Sundowns, and I was one of the few players who was first bought by Patrice. He was coming to the stadium. He was coming to the change room then, but then after a while now, he stopped coming because he was advised, you know, you are the chairman, you are the big man, you don't have to be at the game the whole time. I think players need to be professional. It's not about the owner having to come to the stadium. You know, you are getting paid to do a job, whether you see the chairman or not. It should not play a major role. Sometimes, yes, it will help, especially a new team like Royal AM, to see the boss is always there. She's dedicated to the team, you know. Obviously, you must give your best. I think it works for Royal AM now, you know, but I don't think that should be the motivating factor. You are a professional, you get paid to do a job, whether your chairman is there or not. It should not make any difference, you know.
I hear that, Chase. And moreover, you are a former player. You know better than me. I'm just trying to understand the psyche. Remember, everything is about the psyche. And we pick up the news that Kaiser Chiefs, Zungu Zuma is suspended. Allegedly, he misbehaved. So as a result, he has to be suspended. So sometimes even the players, they need to take responsibility. You know, it can't be a question of you are being paid. We don't know what happened to Zuma, but rumors are saying he's got a problem with alcohol. I hope, Shakes, you during your time, it was not the issue of you always binging yourself with alcohol, or there were other players. Because for me, I think that that's one thing that limits the years of the players. That's me. I think it limits the years of the players, and then you know, because of lifestyle, they don't sleep on time, they go out and party, and that has an impact. And if I do my analysis, I look at the top players. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't think that Messi is drinking. All right, but I see him there and there with a beer. All right, but players like this, you know, they take their career very seriously. Ronaldo very seriously, and then and that is why they have this longevity in the game. All right, I know Joe Masono was not drinking. That is why he was there for too long. So I don't know what to take about that. As the players now also having to take responsibility, because remember, it's not about playing only. It's a total package. Discipline, it's one of those things. All right, you have to be disciplined, and then you know, as a soldier, if you are not disciplined, they will never allow it, because the army lose the war because of soldiers are ill-disciplined. So what's your take about that?
Yeah, perhaps discipline is key, you know, when you're a professional footballer, discipline is key. And worst of all is when you come to training, you know, and you're still affected by what happened yesterday, or you've been drinking yesterday. There's a lot of players, perhaps, even in England, even in top flight, your Wayne Rooney's, you know, they all have a beer there and then, but then you got to be disciplined enough to know that it's time for training now, and you give yourself that enough time that you recover from the day before when you were partying, to come back to training. But if you are coming to training and you are still intoxicated, and there are so many problems within the team at the moment, and you're just creating more problems and more bad publicity for the team, you know, it becomes a problem, because we all have a drink once in a while there and then, but once it comes to light that you came to training drunk, then it becomes an issue now, because you are putting the name of the team in disrepute, you know, and you are causing problems, and the team already has problems. So yeah, I think the youngster needs help very quickly, you know, to understand that you can't behave this way. And he's killing his name. He's playing for a big brand, and the publicity he's been getting recently now is going to tarnish his career. So it's important for him, for the team to sit down with him, discipline him, and make him understand that he will lose his football career if he continues this way.
You know what? I want to say big up to Kaizer Chiefs. They acted swiftly on that matter. The mere fact that they came in and suspended the player, for me, that is commendable. Because we are quick to blame the management, they don't have quality players. We are quick to blame the coach and so on and so on. We don't look at the players. Do they look at themselves, the players? Because as you are saying, people need to take their careers very seriously. And it can't go on like this, you know? And I listen to players, they continue, former players. Some they've played for Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates, Super Sport. The majority of players are saying Chiefs is the well-run team, the most professional team in this country. So why, as a player, you go there having a lucky to play for Kaizer Chiefs and you want to cause disruption? What about yourself as a person? Do you take yourself as an institution? I think it's high time these players, they need to look at themselves. They want to take themselves serious. Now, quick one, relegation zone. Swallows is back on the relegation zone. And then if you look very well, no one is safe from Chippa United. Maybe Maritzburg and Sekhukhune may survive. They don't need much. I think they need an extra 3 points, the two of them. But from Chippa United downwards, it's tough. Now let's look at Swallows. What could be a reason? The beautiful birds. Brackett would have come in here as a staunch supporter of the Super Bird, the Super Birds from Dube. You know that they started in Dube. They are known as the boys from Dube. What could be the problem with Swallows? What is it? Now, my understanding, the biggest problem that Swallows did is when they sold Njabulongo. That was the biggest mistake, one. And then it didn't end there. Vuyo left. It didn't end there. Thabo Matlaba left. You know, they assembled the former players whom I think were bringing stability to the team. And we see what Thabo Matlaba is doing. Shakes.
Prasob,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, the problems, Prasob, for Swallows, I think it starts with the leadership. A lot of leaders were playing. If you look at last season when they were doing well, you had the likes of Chief Boy Ngwenya, who was the captain. You had your Vuyo Mire, who's an experienced player and has won a lot of trophies, you know, with Sundowns, and is one of the players. In fact, I think Vuyo, there's no player with more caps in the PSL than Vuyo Mire at this present moment. So they lost players like that. You saw Vuyo leaving Swallows, Matlaba, who's also was a captain and a leader at Orlando Pirates. When you lose players like that, you are bound to be affected, Prasobs. So I think it's those players and them also not getting that sponsorship, which was going to be good for them, that telecom sponsorship. I think those things are affecting them. There are problems at Swallows in terms of the finances, which is hampering the team at the moment.
Now, Maritzburg United, is Maritzburg United the team, you know, all year in, year out, they always fight for survival. I think the owner of the team, we saw gift of the givers, partnering with them, although we are not sure whether it was on monetary value or it was a question of bringing the brand to another level. But year in, year out, Maritzburg United fight for relegation. I see TS Galaxy starting to move from away from the table, from the bottom of the table, which is good for TS Galaxy because they're new. And remember, this is a new team, a newly formed team. The owner is always there cheering the players. And then I saw how excited he was after beating Orlando Pirates after that nasty experience whereby he was not allowed to go to the stadium at Orlando Stadium. I mean, to go to the dressing rooms. So Maritzburg United, what's your take? What's your take? Baroka, I don't know. They've just changed the coach, and I don't know whether that will save them now because they're left with only about 4 games, if I'm not mistaken. Sheikh's coming.
Yeah, Prasad, it's very tough at the bottom there. We saw TS Galaxy, they did themselves a big favor yesterday by beating Pirates. That moved them all the way from the position that Swallows is in now. That's where TS Galaxy were. And by beating Pirates yesterday, they moved all the way to number 13. But also they are not safe there because once Swallows wins one game, they'll be back also around maybe number 12 there. So that whole area from number 12, from Chippa United, nobody is safe there from relegation, you know. Baroka, it looks like it's going to be really tough for them because even if they win one game, they are still at the bottom there. But Maritzburg, if they can win one game, that's going to push them away from the relegation zone into 27 points and put Swallows and TS Galaxy in Chippa also into the mix there. So it's really tough at the bottom there. I don't know what's happening with Maritzburg. You know, they've got Middendorp, who is seen as a good coach by a lot of Chiefs supporters who think maybe he should come back at Kaizer Chiefs as well. I mean, he was supposed to win the league if it wasn't for COVID 2 seasons ago. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening at Maritzburg. You know, you expect better from them.
Well, the last input, Chippa United. What could be the problem with Chippa United? All the time, they have to be there. We know that. How did they came? I think they came through the playoffs, all right, to qualify for this Premier Soccer League. So that's another one. But I don't know whether you have an input as far as that is concerned with Chippa United. What do you think? What could be the problem with Chippa United?
Yeah, Prasad, Chippa always there and there, you know. They've given Kurt Lenkis a chance to be the coach there, but they've also got now an assistant of his, you know, and Rulani has come out strong about coaches who don't have qualifications, you know, and the guy they've put into assist Kurt there is one of those who don't have the qualifications, but I don't know, maybe somebody who can motivate the players. There's a reason that Chippa, he put him there, but I think it's just there, that stability in terms of the coaching at Chippa. You don't know what's happening there, you know. So yeah, they look like they can survive, you know. I just wish they could have given Kurt. They can give him more of an opportunity as a coach because he's got the knowledge of the game, and I just like it when ex-players are given that opportunity. And I hope he can do well and save Chippa from relegation.
Well, we'll see, Sheikhs. Thank you very much for doing the show. In my parting comments, it is said, Mr. Sono, Dr. Sono, said, by the way, Cosmos was a team that was meant to groom players and sell. So they are playing for nothing, right? So it's not bothered whether they are in ABC. the agenda of the team will continue. What does that say to us as supporters? So in other words, we are not competitive. We are just a team. It's a business venture. Let me put it that way. It's a business venture. It's a business project, according to Dr. Sono. I don't know whether it borders well to the supporters that we are watching a team that is a business venture. That's all. We support a business venture. We don't want to win anything. What's your last comment as far as that is concerned?
Yeah, Prache has done well in the past, you know, Prasobs with the likes of Philmon Masinga, with the likes of Aaron Ngwenya. They produced a lot of players, you know. But now moving to the APC Mutsipe League, I'm not sure if he can still produce those types of players, you know. I know teams like Jomo Cosmos, like Ajax Amsterdam, you know. Ajax Amsterdam is still a team that plays in the Champions League, whether they are still selling players, they are selling their coach now to Man United, but it's a team that is still competing. That is still number one in Holland. That it produces for other teams, yes, but it's important also that they remain competitive as a team, you know. So I just wish Jomo could have tried hard also to stay within the competitive leagues, you know. While there's no doubt about it, he's produced a lot of quality players for teams, but I think now this is coming to an end, you know. I look at the junior development teams also for Cosmos. They are not doing too well at the moment in the GDL league and under 15s, the youngsters that are coming about, you know, they are being overlapped by other teams now. Your Sundowns developments are doing well, your Chiefs developments are doing very well, you know. So yeah, I just wish that Jomo could have stayed within the competitive leagues. It remains to be seen whether he can still come back and compete again.
Well, good luck to Dr. Sono. But there was under 19. Is it under 19 that went overseas? I think it's Spain. They were playing in a big tournament. Big up to that one. But I'm sure supporters of Cosmos, you have heard what Dr. Sono said, myself included, that we are a team that plays for, you know, for a project. We are not competing. Shakes, thank you very much. I really appreciate. Good luck going forward, and then let's continue and push and analyze. And thank you for all those people who are supporting us, who are commenting, and then we'll appreciate that one. And then at the same time, I want to say big up to those who subscribe, and then you help us and continue to like if you like, and then I'll appreciate. Shakes, your parting ways.
Thanks, Saubrey, for having me on the show, and thank you to our listeners and viewers. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is the Saubrey Boyz Walefatshe from the Big R, or TBR Solution. One of the companies owned by TBR Solution is the Big R Financial Services, an authorized financial service provider. I'm sure you have noticed that the past few months or so, we've seen a lot of deaths, and those deaths are attributed to mental illness. Mental illness can be caused by anything, can be caused by stress, depression, and stress and depression can be caused by a number of things: lack of finances, or financial problem, or social problem, or marital problem. So they cause all those problems. We in the financial sector, we see it almost now and again, because we work with various organizations like GPF, Independent Fund Organization. But while I'm still there, let me stress, we don't have a formal relationship with GPF, but we work with them because most of our people are from there. Now, working with those people, you know very well that people who are working for the government, they're expected to retire at the age of 60 and above, right? If you retire earlier than that, then you are being penalized by GPF.
And sometimes people say, no, I need money. So what do? They resign. They say, no, let the money go to my bank account. Once you do that, you are tax heavy. So you need to bear that in mind, okay? But now, let's say for argument's sake, you are 55 as we speak and above, and you are contemplating of either resigning or going on pension in the next 3 months or so, just drop us a WhatsApp so that we help you to expedite for your payment. Because according to the GPF rules and pension fund law, once a client or a member receive an SMS that they've received your forms, that means they have 60 days to complete the process. And mind you, the 60 days is a maximum. It doesn't mean it has to take 60 days. It's a maximum. Now, sometimes we see people that don't get their money for 2 to 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months, even more, or a year or so. And then there, the problem could emanate either from the GPF side, employer side, a member himself. So what do? We try to expedite that process by making sure that we understand the workings of GPF. If it's a member, we help him to do the right thing. The same with GPF, the same with employer organization. Now, remember, as I have already said, that with GPF, it's 60 and above. Now, and then we say if you're 55 or more, you can contact us. And another good element is this, with the fund that we are working with. There is a whole lot of flexibility. You can decide how much you earn. That's how flexible it is. And if, let's say, you pass on, you and your spouse, you can nominate anyone. You are not limited to your immediate family, like your biological children or an officially adopted children. Remember, even your children, they can benefit as long as they're 22 and below. But with us, it doesn't matter. They can be above 22, they can be your elders, or they will still benefit because you nominated them. And then we try by all means that when we take the money from GPF and invest with credible fund organization, we try by all means that you are least taxed, all right? And then, and even you are not punished because you are not taking the money, because you are taking to another fund. So which means an independent and credible fund. So it means that there's no need to tax you more. So those are some of the advantages that are there. So you need to bear that in mind. And then if you want to know more, just drop us a WhatsApp on our WhatsApp number. Then we'll call you back. You don't have to call us. We'll call you back and see how can we expedite it. I thank you.